So I live my life.
6:51, a gorgeous start to the day here on Breakfast Television. Happy Thursday to you. Now, the Flames. We are decked out today. Flames have a chance to do something tonight they have not done in 11 years, and that is get past the first round of the playoffs. For some help breaking down Game 5, we have brought in our friend Ryan Pinder from Sportsnet 960 The Fan. Break it down for us, my friend.
One of these things doesn't look like the other one.
I know.
What's
God
happening
forbid
here?
he should wear a jersey today on game day.
Everything's great in Flamesland right now, isn't
Yeah.
it? They win both at home. The dome's electric, and I think it's less about what the Flames have to do than what does Vancouver have to do to change momentum and swing this back in their favor, right? So I think Ryan Miller's going to start for Vancouver. We know that. At least it's been strongly suggested.
Yeah.
Can he steal a game for them? And are we going to see games resembling 1 and 2 from Vancouver,
Yeah.
or more of the 3 or 4? Because if it looks like 3 or 4, the Flames, they're going to play the Ducks. They're through tonight. But Vancouver was a stronger team there. When they were on home ice, you do have last change. You can set your matchups. If you had to give the periods like you would do boxing rounds, they probably had 5 of 6 in Vancouver, the Canucks did.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. There's some lineup changes. Sven Berchi, a Flames prospect, comes in for the Canucks. But for the Flames, everything's going right. Nothing changes. You know, the lines will probably stay the same. The pairings absolutely will be the same. Your goaltender's the same. It's the Canucks having to adjust to the Flames at this point.
And I would argue, obviously, that the Flames have been adjusting the best with respect to the coaching moves and kind of matching up lines and things like that.
You know what? They've been pretty consistent with what they've done in terms of the lines because they've had success.
Sure.
The split on the road was a huge win. To win Game 1, okay, you've stolen home ice now, right? You now have 1-0 lead. You're going to come home split at a minimum, and 3 of the final 5 are in Calgary in theory. So they did a good job early. The top line's starting to get production, and who would have thought a month ago that Bennett and Ferland would be the 2 guys that are like fan favorites and stars. Bennett had played 1 game in the NHL before the playoffs started, and Ferland was a relative unknown who had spent half the year in the American League.
Well, yeah, I mean, talk about that. We talked at the beginning, getting ready for this series, about the relative lack of experience and how much that would hurt or help the Calgary Flames going into the playoffs. Obviously, it is an advantage, but these kids are playing with a different kind of spring in their step.
They're hungry. This is a group that really wants to win, and I don't know that the experience is the entire. If it's so important because it hasn't really helped the Canucks yet. The Sedins combined almost have more playoff games experience than the entire Flames roster. Yuri Hudler, one of the only guys that's gone deep into the playoffs on this Flames roster. And you look at Ryan Miller, he's got big game experience playing in the Olympics and postseasons before he arrived in Vancouver. Kevin Bieksa is a guy that played in the Cup final with Vancouver. He's been one of the worst players this series, period, stop. So the experience is nice, but the young Flames with their speed have really been able to give the Canucks more than they could handle at this point.
Yeah, that forecheck has been unstoppable.
Yes.
Like as a minor hockey coach, you want to record that forecheck and play it before every game that you're coaching and say, do that, because they've been outstanding.
Well, and now you're starting to see the Canucks defensemen looking over their shoulders. The footsteps is what you call it in hockey, when you know that someone's there and you're worried about being hit more than concerned about making the right play. And that means the Flames are in their kitchen, between their ears, and that's where in a tight series, if you're in the other team's head, it's over, and that's what games 3 and 4 looked like in Calgary.
Okay, so we got Miller versus Hiller.
Yes.
Let's talk about crowds and what that support means. I was at the game the other night, and you know I had never been at the Dome
for a
playoff game, and I mean it's incredible. So what is that going to add to the Vancouver Canucks tonight?
Hasn't been the same in Vancouver. I chatted with a bunch of the people that have been traveling in the series, not only from a Vancouver perspective, but Flames as well. And good buildings in Vancouver, but nothing to the level of what we've seen in Calgary. And I suppose absence makes the heart grow fonder, they say. Well, it's been 5.5, almost 6 years since a meaningful playoff game in Calgary, so there was a lot of excitement, whereas Vancouver, they're just 1 year removed from their last playoff performance. Tickets still available in Vancouver for tonight's game. You know that wouldn't be the case in Calgary. Singles, but yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Flames in Vancouver, Game 5. Catch it on CBC, Rogers Game Center Live, Sportsnet 960 The Fan. For more information, head to breakfasttelevision.ca. Pinder, we got to find you a jersey. Thanks for joining us.
Unbiased observer.
Still to come.